Yes, I know I'm late to the party, but someone's gotta break the news. Disney's live-action remake of Mulan is going to be a piece of hot, flaming garbage.
Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow.
We've all been witness to the recent trend of Disney remaking all their animated classics. Because as we all know, animation isn't as mature as live action, and it's easier to revive an already existing story than to make a new one for that sweet, sweet cash. However, the remakes have usually either been kinda more faithful to their original material in the case of 2016's The Jungle Book, more progressive and realistic quote-unquote in the case of 2015's Cinderella, or just so nearly identical yet watered down it might as well just not exist in the first place in the case of 2017's Beauty and the Beast.
The same old bread and rolls true love.
God, that auto-tune. Who greenlit this? Who greenlit this casting?
Can't you just see it?
Yes, it's amazing to see Hermione as Belle, but not at the cost of this.
I guarantee it.
But for some reason, the live-action Mulan seems to be a completely different beast from the 1998 classic we all know, love, and are high-key obsessed with to a terrifying degree. A casting call sheet was spread around Twitter about a year ago, but has for some reason resurfaced recently, and the internet, of course, has lost its damn mind. So why are we already abandoning ship, and what exactly has Disney done to piss people off? Well, to answer that, we need to take a step back and ask a much broader question.
This is what you give me to work with? Well, honey, I've seen worse.
Mulan is probably one of the most beloved Disney animated films ever. Even 2 decades later, people are still quoting it and singing all of its songs, most notably,
I'll make a man out of you.
$10, you totally started singing that under your breath. There are a few elements of the film that have made it stand the test of time, but the 3 core ones seem to be Mulan herself, the whole cross-dressing plot point, as well as Shang's debated sexuality. Yes, we are going there. So first off, Mulan is a badass. Her father gets conscripted into the Chinese military when
The Huns have invaded China!
and they brought a bad case of jaundice with them. But since Mulan doesn't fit into her society's expectations of what a lady should be, and since her father is far too weak to go into battle, Mulan decides to take her father's sword, disguise herself as the young male warrior Ping, and join the army in his place. Funny thing about Mulan, she actually created her own category for a Disney princess. Generally, there are 3 qualifications, and a 4th unspoken one. First, they have to be a princess by blood, second, they have to marry into royalty, or third, they have to perform a noble act. Mulan's noble act? Killing the leader of the Huns with fucking fireworks.
Get off the roof, get off the roof, get off the roof.
And no other Disney princess since then has entered the lineup through the rule Mulan created, which... wow. Well, really they made up that rule cause Mulan made bank, which is actually that 4th unspoken rule I alluded to earlier. That's also why Kida, from Atlantis the Lost Empire, who actually becomes a queen by the end of the story, isn't considered part of the princess lineup, which, yes, I am still bitter about. Then there's the cross-dressing element. 90s Disney films were usually about finding yourself.
When will my reflection show?
Yeah, I know, who am I inside? We get the point. Don't marry for money, be true to yourself, and make Disney bank. We get the morals already. With Mulan specifically, the finding yourself theme is tied to the gender roles of Mulan society. Mulan is expected to be a quiet, dainty young lady and a good wife to whoever her husband will be. But Mulan challenges this, and is even given the opportunity to join the Emperor's council by the end of the movie, which she refuses. Also, quick question, was anyone else terrified Mulan might have accidentally stabbed the Emperor when she went to hug him? Like, oh boy, that would not have been good. Granted, Mulan doesn't actually seem to change the way society works, she just kinda found a way to cheat its rules, which... okay, fine, yeah, I still gotta respect that. Then there's the 3rd thing, Shang being bi. Okay, so this one's a bit contested, but the argument basically goes that Shang fell for Mulan when he still thought she was pink, and as such, he came to love her regardless of her gender. It's kinda hard to argue with this one, just cause... well, look at this. You don't look at your totally platonic bro friends like this. As such, Shang kinda wound up as Disney's first LGBT character, or at least a huge LGBT icon. Disney has marketed itself as very pro-LGBT, But that whole, oh, LeFou is canonically gay and gets an explicitly gay scene in the live-action Beauty and the Beast, yeah, it was so underplayed, it's basically filed under the category of marketing bullshit. So with these elements, along with many other aspects of the movie, Mulan became a cult classic that people still adore to this day. So you'd think if Disney wanted to remake it, they'd do their best to, you know, not fuck it up so they could make bank off the nostalgia like they have in the past. Or at least, try to faintly hit the same beats and maybe only water down the story just a little bit out of laziness. Oh boy!
Pack your bags, Cricket. We're moving out.
For a long time we've been marching off to battle.
Now let's read this dumpster fire of a casting call and see what hellish nightmare we're in for. I do this for you people. Mulan lives in rural China in 630 AD, and her country is besieged under attack by the Gokturk invaders. Don't worry, we'll be covering these all shortly. When her aging father volunteers to join the army, Mulan sneaks out by night and takes his place, strapping down her breasts so she can pass for a man. There is a mysterious power inside Mulan, a power of speed and coordination and sheer force that places her at the peak of her unit, where no one suspects her secret. Then the love interest. Oh, by the way, he's not Shang, his name is Chen Honghui. So, great start. Strapping, cocky, and handsome. Honghui is another recruit who joins Commander Tung's unit, and he's determined to be the best soldier in human history. Full of himself, with a mean, bullying streak to him, he quickly realizes that Mulan is his chief rival, but he does not realize that she is a woman. Grittily determined to simply be the best at everything, Honghui is increasingly peeved by Mulan's ability to match or outmaneuver him. But after learning that his rival is a woman, his intense feeling of rivalry turned into something very different. Something like love. End me now! Oh no! Oh no! Why? What have you done?
We've got a long way to go.
Okay, first, but minor changes. So it seems that Mulan's father isn't drafted like in the film, but instead volunteers. What? Oh, okay. Not a big problem. Definitely not the one that's killing this for everyone. But the conscription was meant to show how grave the threat the Huns presented was. Mulan's father has already seen war and is tired and weak. He doesn't want to do this, but decides to go through with it because of his sense of duty and responsibility. Here, he just seems to kind of go, yeah, I guess I'll fight. Okay, whatever, fine, it's fine. And it seems Shen isn't going to be the leader of the unit. In the original, take a shot every time I say that, but don't, because I don't want you to die, Shang was the son of a renowned general, hence his prowess and role as a captain. Here, he's just some random douchebag with an ego that's probably bigger than his dick. So already, Shen is this arbitrary bad boy archetype rather than the well-respected and dutiful Shang we all know and love. Great. I don't want to put the tinfoil hat on, but maybe Disney did this because they were upset about accidentally making a canonically bisexual main character in Shang. Just throwing that out there. Either that or they're just that stupid. Or both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Now let's cover the whole Gokturk thing. The Gokturks were a nomadic group that were involved in the civil wars in China in the 7th century AD following the collapse of the Sui dynasty. So, I suppose this is more historically accurate. Honestly, the Huns were probably the weakest part of the original film. The only problem with cutting them would be the death of the LGBT joke. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. I mean, Gokturks just doesn't have the same ring to it. Oh well, let's hope the new villain has more of a presence than Shan Yu. Actually, on that note, Shan Yu might not even be present in the movie at all. This I don't have much of a problem with, other than us missing the chance to possibly make him, you know, a good villain. But instead, it seems the live-action film has cast the main villain as a powerful witch. We've got no other information on her, so... okay then? I guess the story needed a witch? Because yeah, we haven't seen that before. Oh, also Mulan has a sister. I don't care. But on the note of Mulan, she has some power inside her. Please God, no. Okay. The thing about Mulan is, she sucked at first. When she joined the army as Ping, she couldn't keep up with the others at all. But through her cleverness, she was able to reach the top. Instead, here she's just... special? What the hell? To my knowledge, Mushu has been cut from the story, so why eliminate the magic if you're just gonna have another magic... You know what, fuck it. I don't care anymore. Mulan's a special snowflake, everyone, because what Mulan needed was a Chosen One story. For the record, I'm not against Chosen One stories. as a whole, it's just really cheap, lazy ones, which kind of goes for any writing trope, but chosen ones are really easy to fuck up trope, and it seems Disney has managed that. Oh, also there are no songs, which is a sin. It is a sin. So yeah, this movie is probably gonna be a train wreck. I have no idea why they went to the bother of changing this much when all the other live-action remakes have been, well, remakes, largely faithful to their originals, most of the time to a fault. That cough. All Disney has done is piss off fans of the original Mulan. Now, does this mean the movie will be trash? Well, given the track record of these remakes, I'd say there's little to no hope, but specifically with this, we're all screwed. But more importantly, at least to Disney, will it make bank? That's yet to be seen. The live-action remakes have been able to make insane amounts of money solely through nostalgia and name recognition, but whether what they've done to Mulan will be enough to break that trend, we'll have to wait until 2020 when this thing comes out. Let's hope they start from scratch to amend this crap. Anyways, if you enjoyed my coverage of this topic, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, because YouTube hates creators. Also consider supporting me directly on Patreon, as you'll get access to early videos, review notes, as well as the private Asshole Parade Discord server. It's a real hoot. I'm also publishing a book this August, so if you could check out the synopsis, first chapter, and trailer in the description below, I'd really appreciate it. I'm the Unicorn of War, Shang is canonically bisexual, and this has been a shit show.
When will my reflection show who I am inside?
Or at least, this movie is gonna be.